not because he didn't have money to train. Now we have a guest in the studio, Yemi Owoseni. He's the Vice President of Confederation of Tennis, President of Confederation of African Tennis Zone 2. Good morning. Welcome to the program, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
For having me here.
Now, we're doing tennis now, lawn tennis in Nigeria. We know what happened at the weekend, the CBN Senior Championship, where you're having a young player, 12 years old, Mary Love, get into the final. Although she couldn't win in, Sarah Adegoke had a better something up her sleeves, and she was able to beat her in 2 sets. Now, let's talk about tennis now in Nigeria. We're seeing a whole lot of development with the junior players now, because that's basically what the past federation is actually focusing on, how they can, you know, develop these younger players and see where they will go from there. But it's like the focus seems to just be only on them.
Yes, the past federation, the outgone federation, placed a lot of emphasis on the junior tennis. Okay. This is because we believe then that we have to go to the basis. Going to the basis, from there we move forward. Okay. You see, we have to transit at this point. And the issue of transiting, we have to bring in, we train the coaches, we train the officials, then we allow the players who want to transit from junior to senior to have enough of playing experience, going to playing tours outside the country, having enough competition even within the country. And that is the plan of the past federation. And that is the next stage the federation wanted to go. And you know, during the last federation, Nigeria was dominating the federation, the junior team in the whole of African sub-region, West African sub-region. And we have not, we even went as far as trying to dominate Africa in the junior category. This is a testimony to our developmental program. Now, the next stage is to transit from this junior to the senior category.
Before you go from junior to senior category, I mean, you talked about dominating West Africa, but that attempt to try and dominate Africa at the junior level hasn't panned out, you know, too well. What's going on there?
Yes, you see, you have to have enough. Like I said, you have to get enough tournaments. You have to have enough sponsors. For instance, in South Africa and the North African countries, they have numerous sponsors. And in this part of the world, emphasis is placed more on football than other sports. And what we are trying to do is to attract sponsors to the game of tennis. And you find out that within the past 3 or 4 years, we've been getting more and more sponsors for tennis. You have so many tennis tournaments, you have the central bank, you have apart from the Lagos Futures, we now have about 4 futures in Abuja. We have the NCC Tennis League. We have various State Governors Cup, and a host of others. So tennis now has lots of competitions. And we from here, we believe we can dominate the continent.
Okay, now that's fair enough. Now, we talked about trying to bridge this gap. Now, we're having our younger players playing very well. But then the senior players now, how can you actually help them? Because we're watching the French Open, we've seen players from Tunisia, you know, actually playing in there. We've seen players from South Africa, you know, playing at the Grand Slam. But in Nigeria, I mean, when was the last time? I think 1950-something or 60-something, or 70-something, that's when you had Nigerian player, you know, playing. I think it was at Wimbledon, you know, played in the Grand Slam. So how do we actually, you know, maintain this position? Because when you have these players doing very well at this stage, 16, 12, 11, so how can they actually build on that momentum, you know, getting, you know, playing, not just playing enough futures, but playing challenges, and then from there they can take it from there?
Thank you very much. That was what I said earlier. You see, the former board had a program.
Okay.
And that was the program we were following. We went to the basics. We had the junior tennis initiative.
Yeah.
And we believe after we will have stabilized at the junior, we then transit to the senior level.
Okay, if focus is on the junior.
On the juniors.
Okay, now these junior players, what are the incentives? Because after winning a tournament like this, you expect them to go for more future tournaments. Then from there, they move to challenge them from there. You know, who knows where they're going to go. Do you guys